Alright, the Granblue based archetype in Stokeia has revealed itself. So let's begin. But first, cards from the last few days. Our first card is an order card for Cater Sanctuary, the Hour of Holy Judgment cometh. It's a grade 3 normal order and its skill is costs Counterblast 2, draw 2 cards, choose one of your units, gets plus 5k power. I was really hoping the start deck order for Cater Sanctuary would be something like a set order or full aggressive for your grade 3s, and now this is really making me give up on the archetype. Although this is pretty nice for being generic, letting you draw 2 cards and some power. Next, Looting Pedostamalia. Grade 2 10k power and its skills. Act Rearguard, once per turn, cost Convas 1, Soul Blast 1, and to the end of the turn it gets boost and plus 5k power. Well, Sylvan Hornbeast focuses on attacking from the back rows, so the boost will not come up often, but it is an additional option if you do need it. And who knows, maybe future archetypes can actually make use of this card. Skipping some of the card of the day cards and going to some of the monthly Bushiroad cards, which this first one was also revealed in card of the day, Call of the Beast. It's for Stoichia, grade 2 Blitz order. Thank you! Finally some more focus on Blitz order, and its skill is choose one of your units, it gets plus 5k power until the end of the battle. If you have 3 or more rearguards in the back row, plus 15k instead. And remember, Blitz orders are only played in the guard step. I'm just gonna say this card is pretty bad only against control decks. If you're playing against decks that don't really do much control, or that can annihilate your back row, this is actually pretty good. Next, for the card that I'm most excited about, Prominence Glare of the Bluish Flames. For some reason, it's not Bluish Flame Liberator Prominence Glare. There is no reason why they should take out Liberator in its name. But whatever. Grade 3 Toke Power, Excel, and its skill is Auto, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, call 1 card from among them to rearguard. Put the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. Standard Gold Paladin right there. Second skill. Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks, cost Combust 1, discard a card from hand, perform all the effects below depending on the number of rearguards you called during this turn. 3 or more, this card gets plus 15k power and 1 crit until the end of the battle. 4 or more, your opponent cannot call Sentinels from their hand to the Guardian Circle for this battle. So basically Raven-haired Azul with a condition, but without being archetype restricted. Probably not the best boss card, but hey, it's a manga promo, so you shouldn't really expect much. But I kinda like it. I already like Gold Paladin's playstyle of calling number of rearguards and then gain abilities depending on number of rearguards called, and that's why I also like Castillo. And sometimes I really want to see more of these creative abilities, gain more effects depending on how many things that you've done during the turn. Unfortunately for this one, the effects are only considered okay, but very doable considering the amount of Gold Paladin cards that you have that could superior call, especially the call itself will count as 1 as well. So not too bad. Now when will we get Prominence Core? And now to the Tuesday stream itself. First off, they announced that the first booster set will have multiple archetype support for every nation, besides the ones in the start deck. I like that. Next, for the new Sentinels, they're all PGs, they are grade 1s, and are all rares. Thank you very much. That'll make things cheaper, and I am looking forward to playing Overdress now. And all of them have the standard PG ability of course, cannot hit a unit, but it doesn't have a cost of discarding a card. But you will have to discard a card if you have 2 or more cards in your hand. That's pretty nice. It reminds me of the one that is Brave. If you have a low hand size, you don't need to discard anything. That pretty much gives you more defensive options, and you don't need to worry about a PG being useless just because you need to discard a card. And now to the main cards itself, we start off with Rancor Chain. Grade 1 AK power and its skills. Act Vanguard, once per turn, cost Soul Blast 1, draw 2 cards, choose an order card from your hand and discard it, but if you couldn't, discard 2 cards instead. This archetype focuses around playing your order card in your drop zone, hence the discard. But what I like is that we see an archetype that interacts with order cards. Other than Bang Dream anyway. But anyway, second skill. Count Rearguard. If you play an order card this turn, this card gets plus 2k power. Standard power boost, it's just a main ride deck card so you can just play 1. Next, Black Tears Husk Dragon. Grade 2, 10k power, and its skills. Auto, when placed on Vanguard, choose 1 normal order from your drop zone and put it to your hand. First skill helps you discard it, second skill lets you put it back to your hand. I think it would have been better if they said search an order card because of the archetype's playstyle. But anyway, second skill, count rearguard. If you play an order card this turn, this card gets plus 5k. Like I said with the grade 1, you of course run this as your main ride deck card. And now before we go to our main grade 3, we're going to go to the 2 order cards that they've revealed for this archetype so far. Spiritual Body of Condensation. Grade 1 normal order, and its skills. cost, Soul Blast 1. Choose a card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard from your drop zone, call it to rearguard, and it gets plus 5k power. Generic Revival. And because in Overdress era, everything has been split up to nations, you can now mix and match archetypes. So really good. Next, Grief, Despair, and Rejection. Grade 3, normal order, and its skill is cost, counterblast 1. If your Vanguard is Mysterious Reign, Spiritualist, Zorga, your main grade 3, choose 3 of your units and they get plus 10k power until the end of the turn. This deck does lack power, so you probably will want to play this card, but I do see it possibly getting cut in the future. Finally, to our main boss card, Mysterious Reign, Spiritualist, Zorga. Grade 3, 13k power, and its skill is Count, Vanguard. When you play a normal order, you combine a normal order from your drop zone with a different name and perform Alchemagic. Basically, you're combining the effects with the order card from your hand to the one that you bound. So say you have an order card in your drop zone and one in your hand, you play that order card, and then you use this skill to bind the second order card from your drop zone that has a different name, and you perform both effects. You also perform the cost as well. Pretty interesting, and I do like the idea of combining effects. Second skill, Act Vanguard. Once per turn, cost counterblast 1, choose a card from your drop zone and call it to rearguard. Wow, a straight up plus 1 every single turn. That's pretty good. But of course, the main part about this card is the Alchemagic skill. And then for questions about Alchemagic, Alchemagic can only be used if there's a unit with that skill. It is not considered as playing an order card twice, as the second one that you bind from the drop zone is considered an added effect to the first order, and order cards can only be played once a turn anyway. But the cost and the skill of the order cards are both added together. So how it's done is that you play the order card from your hand, and then during that moment you play a card that has Alchemagic skill on it, bind the second one in your drop zone with a different name, and then you resolve both costs. And then you resolve both costs of the order cards, and then you use the ability of the normal order from your hand first, and then the bound one. Finally, this is the reveal schedule for the next few weeks. And next week we got 2 other archetype cards. The first one being from Dark States, Ruler of Gravity, Boral Magnus, looks kind of like a Dark Irregular, and the next one from Cater Sanctuary, Hexa Orb Sorceress, which of course looks like an OTT Genesis type card. I'm excited what these will bring. But seeing Zorga, I think these two are going to play similar to how they were with their clan selves. So that's it for this reveal. What do you guys think about the second archetype of Stokeia, Zorga, with its Alchemagic playstyle? I found this very interesting, especially in an archetype that actually interacts with the normal orders. This I like. Especially with Sylvan Hornbeast, you can actually do some mix and matching with some of these cards, which is something what I like about Overdress so far. And then one question, what do you guys think the Dragon Empire's second archetype will be? Do you expect it to be another dragon-based archetype, a dinosaur-based archetype, or a ninja-based archetype? We already know Brandke is going to have a Link Joker-based archetype, which I look forward to, but for the Dragon Empire one, I am expecting ninjas for some reason, even though I would have preferred dragons. But other than that, have a nice day.